Hello again, year 3. This is Ms. Cherry, and today we are going to complete our previous lesson. Last time we started writing letters, and we studied that there are two types of letters: friendly letters or informal letters, and formal ones. Today we are going to study how to write them, and what are the main differences between them, and what are the purposes of writing the formal ones comparing to the informal ones. Let's start our lesson. Okay. Writing letter can be so easy if we just follow some simple rules. The first one is to know who are we writing to. Who are we writing to? This is a very important question. The audience is the people I write my letter to. So, I write a letter to someone. Maybe my family, maybe my friend, maybe to one of my neighbors. So, if I'm writing a letter to someone I know, this is a friendly letter. So, these letters are friendly and thus should be written in an informal way. If you remember, friendly means informal. But sometimes we write letters to people that we don't know. And in this case, we are not sending a friendly letter. So we have to be formal and we have to use formal language. But why do we write people that we don't know? Here is a very important question, which is why? Why do we write letters to people that we don't know? Why do we write letters in a formal way? So here is the purpose of writing formal letter. We write formal letters maybe because you want to complain about something, maybe because you want to apply for a job, to reply to a formal letter, or to buy something you liked from an advertisement that you saw. Okay, so again, the purposes of writing formal letters are to complain, to apply for a job, to reply to a formal letter, or to buy something from an advertisement. Okay? Now, how can we write in formal language? What is the formal writing? How can we do this? In order to use formal language, we must use a non-personal way. Use a non-personal way. What is the meaning of a non-personal way? It means that do not write in a friendly way. Don't speak to someone as if you are speaking to a friend. Number 2, to give information in the shortest and clearest way. Make sure to use a simple and a clear way in order to write a formal letter. Number 3 is to use polite language. We have to speak politely because you are speaking to someone that you do not know. So, let's remember together first the 5 parts of a letter and then apply them to the formal and informal letters. We have heading, greeting, yes, I can hear you, body, closing, and signature. Perfect. Again, the parts of a letter are heading, greeting, body, closing, and signature. Super. So, what is the difference between a formal letter and an informal one? In order to answer this question, I'm going to show you 2 letters, a formal one and an informal one, and you have to find out the differences by yourself. Let's have a look. Here you go. Now you can see 2 letters. One is formal and another one is informal. Can you tell me which one is the informal? Yes, super. The first one, the left one. The left one is informal. How do you know? How do you know it's a friendly letter? Yes, because it has my form. I can see my heading, I can see Dear Susie, and I can see that the closing is here, your friend, and the signature is Justin. Perfect. Okay, now look at the other one. It looks different. So what is that? Let's remember the 5 parts of an informal letter first and then move to the formal one. Here you can see the 5 parts of an informal letter. Here is my heading, which has the address and the date, and here my address is Justin's address. So the address is the address of the sender or the writer of the letter with the signature at the end. And here is a greeting, Dear Susie, with a capital D and a capital S and a comma. And then here my body of the letter, here the body of the letter. And finally an informal closing like your friend and the signature at the end with the name. So this is a friendly letter or an informal letter. Now let's move to the formal one. Here are the 5 parts of a formal letter. Are they also 5? Yes, they are. But what is the difference now? Look, I have a heading of 2 addresses. What is that? And here is my greeting and my body and a formal closing and then a signature. So is the only difference that I have a heading with 2 addresses? Yes. The main difference between the formal letter and the informal one is that I have the address of the recipient and the sender too. So I have here the address of the one who is writing the letter and the one who is receiving the letter too. So here in my heading I have the sender address and the recipient address too. In the greeting of a formal letter, you don't know who you are sending the letter to. You are just sending it for a company, for the school, for the club, for a shop. So you are just writing Sir or Madam, Dear Sir or Madam, Dear Mr. or Ms., because you don't know who you are sending the letter to. You are just speaking formally, so you have to say Dear Sir or Madam, and this is the formal greeting. Moving to the 3rd part of my letter, which is the body. And in my body here, I'm going to write an introduction, my paragraph. And what is this introduction? In the introduction, you are going to say, why are you writing this letter? So you can say, I am writing you this letter to, and then say, I'm writing this letter to ask about, or I'm writing this letter to complain about, I'm writing this letter to whatever you wish. You are writing your purpose here. And then you can follow this with your paragraph, saying what do you want. So the introduction here has the purpose, and the paragraph you can say, what do you want? After the body, here comes my formal closing. And to appropriately end your formal letter, you must end in yours faithfully. You can say yours faithfully with a capital Y followed by a comma. Okay? Finally, you can sign your letter with your name at the end. And now you know the differences between the formal letter and the informal one. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you for watching. Study hard. Lots of love. See you again.